Well, I can see. Hi, folks. There's supposed to be a pause in the rain, and I think I might be a little early for it, or maybe it's just not going to happen. So I was going to do a variation on a theme. One of my favorite, 150 intensity minutes rides around my place. I was going to video that today because it's nice, it's beautiful. But I can see the rain over here, over there, coming down. I really don't like to get soaked. Kind of taking a chance here. Already sneezing. Yeah, so what's gonna happen? It's kind of hard to see which way the clouds are going. It might not be good for me. It's kind of these rain clouds are kind of coming down through Ladia from the north, not just directly in from the ocean. They're just kind of, skirting through. Have to constantly look for places I can duck out of the rain, because it might drizzle a bit, but then when the rain comes down, it comes down. And of course, this is all, it never rained like this as far as I can remember, but whatever. Maybe I'm primed to believe that this more rain in recent years during this period is somehow connected to climate changes. Potholder, a guy I follow on YouTube who does good essays, kind of skeptical essays. He often dumps on Elon Musk. He was talking about, he agrees with Jordan Peterson, who says it's 100% sure that we can adapt to climate change. And Potholder tore that apart. Not saying we can't adapt, because we do adapt. I often say circumstances dictates. That's the most effective dictator we know. And we had, many years of ice age. The Pleistocene before the Holocene. Oh, look at these beauties. Hello, ducks. Hey, guys. What are you doing out here? Shouldn't you be somewhere? I had some of those Muscovy ducks just wander into my place once, and they hung around for like 2 weeks, and I fed them, and then they left. Like gypsy ducks. Gypsy Muscovy ducks wandering around. I hope they don't get hit by a car. They got out. Anyway, yeah, they don't really fly. They can fly, but they don't fly a lot. They can fly like peacocks up to the roof and stuff. Anyway, yeah, so Potholder, human beings do adapt. I mean, we migrate all over the place. We're social animals. We interact. We share genes with other groups and tribes. For most of our history, we weren't dominance, hierarchy, organized, large-scale city-states, all this kind of thing. People talk about the agricultural, whatever, settling down, Mesopotamia, blah, blah, blah. All true, all well-studied, well understood, where these new social systems came from. And we can be cooperative and peaceful and flat organization, social organization, equality versus inequality. We can have both. human groups can organize in all kinds of ways. Unfortunately, I think our ways have been pathological in the sense that they're too destructive. So you can argue, like Pinker does. I disagree with the guy, but about what was more violent. Now where it's all peaceful. Well, it is if you live in England or Massachusetts or whatever. But it's not peaceful enough. So we claim we're civilized and all that kind of thing. There's a good documentary about this group in the jungle in Peru, in the Amazon, and they're across the river in the forest from other indigenous groups that had been civilized for a long time, quote unquote civilized. In other words, the evangelists came in and turned them into Christians and taught them how to get drunk and mine. And it's a disease, actually. The reason it's pathological is it's just our way of doing things for a long time, thousands of years, has been so destructive. And it's obvious. I mean, it's been studied from millions of angles, from various biased angles and so on for hundreds and hundreds of years. And recently, obviously, the last couple hundred years, we've had so much information about how things work psychologically, sociologically, politically, economically, blah, 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 ideologies, cognitive biases and heuristics and all these different things that we look at, numbers, numerative, statistics and damn statistics and whatnot, probability, Bayesian probabilities, whatever, risk management, analysis, engineering, science, so much. And we know a lot. We actually know what the problems are. We know why capitalists have the kind of character traits that also make them pedophiles and abusers and rapists and killers. They can compartmentalize, they can rationalize what they do and find reasons why it doesn't matter if they kill people or destroy communities or abuse their workers or whatever. And we've known it for a long time. We can't seem to do anything about it. It's like we're addicted to our abusers. It's way beyond like Stockholm syndrome, if that's really a thing. It's beyond that. We're so accustomed to the way things are and acculturated in it and so on. It's very hard to imagine people suddenly deciding that it's time to do things radically differently and deposing a whole global culture, way of doing things. And anthropology and history, you go back, look at the samurai, look at the warring states in China, look at the whatever period of this or that. I love the 30 Years' War, for example. So much. The Roman Empire. And, whatever. All the empires, the kingdoms. We know why we do these things. And we know that we can organize in different ways. So Potholder was talking about Jordan Peterson, who just makes statements, emphatically, like, of course we can adapt. And people think, yeah, that's right, that makes sense. All the nuance, complexity, all the knowledge, the wisdom, the scientific and All the other ways of looking at it just go out the window because, yeah, that makes sense. God did it, or whatever, Zeus. Yeah, it makes sense. And people just don't want to look at it in its entirety and understand what's really going on. Yeah, we can adapt. We've adapted to a lot of things. We always adapt. But Potholder was making a good analogy. He was talking about see these tile roofs around here? Well, the tile roof, has a hole in it, like this one down here. And you're sitting on the couch rationalizing why you don't need to fix it right now. And, oh yeah, climate change, we can adapt. When my house gets washed away from the shore, I can adapt by buying a new house, paying higher insurance premiums, blah, blah, blah. If I am marketed unhealthy foods and I can't afford to buy healthy foods and I get lifestyle illness, I can adapt by taking pharmaceuticals. And if I don't have insurance, I can adapt by robbing a bank so I can afford insurance or whatever. Yeah, we're gonna adapt. We adapt. I mean, look at what's going on in Sudan at the moment, and in Gaza and Israel and the Middle East and Ukraine. People adapt. A lot of Ukrainian young people have adapted to the war by moving to Germany or Portugal. They've adapted. They adapted by leaving. The government adapts to not having enough volunteers for the war by grabbing people off the street and forcing them, conscripting them and forcing them to fight, even with inadequate training and so on. Russia adapted a lot in terms of compensation, incentives to build up its army. We adapt. The tanks came in and we adapted by making drones. So we're good at adapting, killing each other. His point was that we don't do anything about it. We're just kicking the can down the road. That's what we call adapting. Because a lot of these dark tetrad leaders, most of them are, a lot of them are sociopaths, if not psychopaths. Some of them are just conditioned into these ideologies that they grow to believe. So they're true believers in growth and certain economic theories and whatnot. But these people won't do anything. They're not incentivized to do anything. And we're not either, because we're addicted to modernity and technology and all the conveniences that fossil fuels provides. And we wouldn't have 8 billion people on the planet without fossil fuels. So this idea that environments, species of animals and so on, and whatever it is, maximum power or whatever, are self-regulating. A population gets too big and it'll die off and so on and so forth, K and R species, that kind of thing. Well, human beings are way too clever for that. The solution is to become wise and understand our limits and limitations and live within those, and to have a birth off, make fewer children, and shrink the population, and do a whole bunch of things that we could do that hey, whoa, that guy scared me. the honest sorcerer was talking about. He has two scenarios, optimistic and likely pessimistic. And of course, he knows, he's a smart guy, that the things can happen in a myriad of a number of ways. Nobody's predicting. It's just like, these are likely scenarios given these parameters and so on. So it was really good, his essay. And I've thought about the optimistic scenario for a long, long time. It's like, he's not a beautiful mind coming up with original ideas. He's organizing old ideas well and communicating them well and trying to help people understand things. So yeah, this is just such a beautiful road. So far I've been lucky with the weather. So we'll adapt one way or the other. If we do nothing, implement no solutions, change nothing, just continue as we are, it's going to be a lot rougher for everybody. It's going to be more violent, more destructive, more pathological. You know, of course we're going to adapt. People will figure out ways to survive. Some folks will make it up to the northern lats and find niches. But it's going to be a really intense struggle. I mean, you have to look at ancient history to understand what we're looking at. And there's no way of knowing how we're going to organize socially when we're in that kind of extremely stressful, volatile environment. I doubt that we're going to be utopian hunter-gatherers. We have to hope that there's things to hunt and gather, because the sixth extinction is a thing, and that's not going anywhere. Even if 7 billion people disappeared, you know, the alien flew by and just disappeared 7 billion people. To give the Earth a chance, life on Earth, living systems a chance. A lot of the problems with pollution and carbon emissions and whatnot, they don't just disappear. They're baked in to the atmosphere, into the ground, into the global system, you know, chemical and geological and all that, living systems within systems, baked in, and they'll be here whether we're here or not, whether we stop emitting or not right now, today. But there's just no reason to believe that we're going to stop doing what we do. There's no inkling that there's enough people who care to change so radically in the world. So, you know, I hope you're making a lot of money and all that. And if not, I hope you live in a nice, peaceful place, community and whatnot.